Hello. Today I'd like to talk a little bit about fish food and what you feed your marine tanks. I've experimented with a number of different foods out there. I've experimented with frozen mysis pellets. I've experimented with some freeze-dried seaweed just to give them a little bit of green in their diet, frozen spirulina formula, frozen mysis shrimp, as well as my personal go-to food of choice these days, Reef Frenzy. Now, the frozen LRS Reef Frenzy, as you can see here, has a very wide variety of stuff in it. I ended up going with Reef Frenzy for several reasons. First and foremost, it's basically, this is about as close as you're going to get to an all-in-one food source. With all these different things it's got on it, it's going to be good for carnivorous fish, it's going to be good for omnivores, inverts, and even corals. My frog spawn and hammer coral, when I do 2 small feedings a day, there is a noticeable improvement in how far they're extending, the thickness of their tentacles, and everything else. So, at least as far as, euphilia corals are concerned, this stuff definitely does a good job feeding them. It runs, depending on where you buy it from, for between about $20 and $22 a pack. It is something where a little goes a long way. I can get one of these 8-ounce packages to last me, even with twice a day, small feedings. You can probably get about 7 to 8 months out of one of these packages. So from a cost-effective standpoint, it is very cost-effective. The other thing that's great about this is, since basically what they do is they take these raw ingredients straight out of the ocean, chop them up, and throw them straight in the freezer. You're not getting a bunch of additional nasty fillers, and you're not getting stuff that's been sitting out for a long time and produces that really nasty smell. If you open the bag, you can notice a noticeable difference between it and, say, a standard frozen mysis. The frozen mysis just stinks something awful, whereas this stuff, it doesn't have a whole lot of odor to it. The other thing that I would say is really, really good about this, it produces significantly less waste in your tank than other varieties. If you don't believe me, you can try doing a comparison feeding, say, on a smaller tank with no skimmer. Try doing a feeding of this stuff and then comparing what your water looks like after a week of doing, say, mysis pellets or frozen mysis, and you'll notice a huge difference in the color of the water. You're just not getting that brown crud buildup like you do with the other foods, partially because they use cheap fillers and other things in there that aren't the best thing for your tank. So I would say, if I had to pick one all-around food that was just a really solid choice for carnivorous and omnivorous fish, LRS Reef Frenzy, hands down, would be the best all-in-one food source, in my opinion, and one of the best things you can put in your tank in terms of not producing quite as much waste and that sort of thing. So if you do have an herbivore fish, I would recommend supplementing maybe nori, or some maybe frozen spirulina or something like that, just to ensure that it's getting enough green in its diet, because this has some greens and other things in it, but it's not really quite as specialized for an herbivore's diet. So anyways, that's all I've got on this, and thanks for watching.